Hello everyone, my name is Jonathan Sampson. Welcome back to another episode of Tabletop Reviews. Today we're going to be checking out the Tascam DR-60D linear PCM recorder. But before we do that, I would just want to shout out to you guys a big thank you for checking out my review videos and commenting, liking, asking tons of questions. I really appreciate it. I love the feedback and I love having the questions and being able to answer those for you guys. One thing that I would definitely like to see is to increase the number of subscribers of my channel quite significantly, I feel like, over the next month. So my goal is to hit 100 subscribers by the end of July, and I could use your help. So go out and tell your friends, your family members, your neighbors, whoever you think might benefit from these types of review videos, and let them know that they should subscribe to my channel, because why not? Also, if I do get 100 subscribers by the end of July, which, let's be honest, I'm going to with your guys' help, right? Then I will definitely go ahead and do some sort of contest, probably throw everybody's name into a random number generator and pick the winner and give out some cash or a gift card. Who knows? We'll see once we get there. But I am excited to do that, so definitely make sure that you hit the subscribe button, get your name in that drawing, tell your friends to get in that drawing as well, tell them to check out my videos. Once again, I really appreciate the feedback and the questions you guys have been asking me. I love having the opportunity to answer those for you. So let's go ahead and talk about this unit a little bit. The majority of this video is just going to be looking very closely at the menus and the different options of this recorder. As you can see, I'm using it right now with the Rode NTG1 microphone. So I will be using it throughout the recording, but I believe that the majority of the menus I should still be able to navigate while I'm actually recording. So that's my plan, to do that. So let's go ahead and get that started. Okay, I am back. We're taking a look at the Tascam DR-60D linear PCM recorder. There's a dog barking in the background, which is fine. We'll deal with it. So this unit has a ton of different options. You can see that we have monitor select, how do we want to listen to the audio, whether it's through the headphones, mix, camera in, channel 1 and 2, so you can choose what you want to listen to precisely. Then we have the mixer option, the main menu option, and we also have whether we're recording a dual or 4-channel, and whether or not we're recording, and the slate button, which I've got to tell you guys is not to be understated. Absolutely not. When you have this unit plugged in to your camera, it will record the slate tone on both the camera and this device, which I've got to say is probably one of the most helpful features of this unit. Makes it very, very easy to realign your audio when you get into post-production, and it's just a fantastic option to have. Then we have the track, skip forward and skip backward. You'll use this knob right here if you want to fast forward or rewind through the track that you've recorded. Then we have our 3 level options and our phantom microphone options right down here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at a few of these different menus that we have on this device. Let's start with the mixer right here. So the mixer will allow you to change several different options for each device that you have plugged in. So as you can see right here, we have wide. We can go from wide to narrow, or we can do just a 50-50 split, whatever you need for your particular recording. The level, how high you want that particular channel to record at, is also right there. Very easy to access. Then we have the quick menu. Now this menu is absolutely fantastic. It allows you to delete, you can align levels if you want to do that. Then we have our EQ options right here. You can add treble, mids, or bass, or you can just turn it off. Normally I will just leave that option off. I will work with that in post-production if I need to, but so far it's been pretty good. Then we also have channel 1, channel 2, and channel 3 and 4 gain. So we can go from low to high depending on your needs, how far the subject is from the camera. You'll be able to choose whatever option you need for that recording. Let's jump into our menu here. As you can see, there are quite a few different options. You can select the record mode, stereo, and then choose the source. Choose the force! No, you'll choose the source. Channel 1 and 2 or 3 and 4. Remember that channel 3 and 4 are combined. And then you can choose dual mono, dual stereo, 4 channel, or just come up here to mono. I prefer to leave it on stereo, and then the MS mode is right there. So you can choose it to record, monitor, or just leave it off. We have our input settings, gain, limiters, low cut, delay, and as you can see as I scroll down through this, the more I scroll it just changes the channels as I scroll down. So they're all contained within that one easy to access menu. Then we have our record settings. Which format do we want to record on? We can do a number of different formats, Wave 24, Wave 16, and as you can see, if you can see this right here, it shows how long it expects you to record each one. So if I go to 24-bit, I go down to 2 hours and 4 minutes, whereas opposed to 16-bit, I get 3 hours and 6 minutes, and then I can choose the sample size as well from 96 down to 44.1. The size will really determine how much time you have, and believe me, you want to make sure this is set to something like the 2G or the 1G, because you get up here and you will lose a lot of time very quickly from your recording, and especially if you're shooting something like a wedding, you want to make sure that you have this set properly so that you get everything. You don't want it to cut off 2 minutes into a wedding and then you're done. You can't shoot anything else. So you don't want that to happen. Make sure it's set properly, otherwise you could end up in a world of hurt. So we'll go ahead and change this back to 2G, which for quality wise seems to be just fine. I haven't had any issues with quality as of yet when doing that. We also have the self timer, the monitor pre-record, which is a very nice function. It will record a few seconds before you actually hit the record button. That means if something happens, you'll be able to capture that, and that's very nice because you don't want to miss your shot. So we have the auto tone, and then we have the slate key, which you can enable or disable right here. We also have auto record, play settings. You can browse through your different files. As you can see, I have quite a few that I've recorded. And then we have some other options, including file name, date and time, remote, and system. So that's pretty much it for those menus. And let me just show you, while I've got the close-up here, the different options of this unit. Let's see if I can get this in focus here. Okay, so here we have the different options for headphones. As you can see, the card is right there. Very easy to access. The headphone level and headphone jack and the line out and line out levels, as well as the hold button and the on and off button. We have a mount for your tripod or your mounting plate right there, and it has the backup plate, so you won't get any movement. I can't remember exactly what that's called. And then on this side We have two XLRs, your channel 3 and 4, your camera out and the camera out level, as well as the remote option and the camera in. So here you would plug this into your camera so that your camera will record through this unit. It's pretty cool, very nice. And then on the front we just have the Tascam linear PCM recorder, and this pops off, and this is where your batteries will go. Which is really nice that they're not like on the bottom down here. I know that some cameras, many cameras in fact, have their batteries on the bottom, and you get your tripod plate on your camera, and then when it's time to change batteries you have to go through and remove the tripod plate, which is not a fun ordeal, especially if you need to switch very quickly. You can do that with this unit, and you won't have to worry about needing to remove any parts that you've placed on it or take off your camera from the top. So my final recommendation for this product is that if you are an independent filmmaker looking to get into a linear PCM type recorder like the Zoom H1N or the Tascam 40D, I believe, or this type of unit, then this would be a very good bet for you. It's very easy to use. I picked it up and literally was using it within a minute and a half. I had a full understanding of how the unit worked without even reading the owner's manual. It's that simple to use. Now granted, if you do read the owner's manual, you will get a lot more out of it. There's some options in there that it talks about, like being able to record a second track at a little bit lower decibel level, so that if your track is too high when you first record it, you'll have a backup track that's recorded at a slightly lower level that hopefully doesn't have any peaking on it, that will work perfectly for your video. Some of the other recorders aren't going to give you that option. Again, it has the slate button, which is going to make it extremely simple to sync up the audio and the video that you have recorded. You can name the tracks, you can transfer your files over easily. It does have several different attachments that are offered at an extra price, including the remote, as well as a power supply that just goes from your standard AC cord to a USB cable that plugs into the unit directly. I really have enjoyed using this unit. Now, that being said, I have read some forums where people were complaining that these buttons, or not buttons, but rather the levels on the back, don't use actual potentiometers. Here's the thing. The unit, I believe, is $350. If you want something that uses actual potentiometers, you're going to be in a much different price range than this. But if all you want to do is get into a unit that has XLR inputs that offers great quality sound, then this unit will be perfect for you. But the biggest complaint about not using potentiometers is that when you adjust the levels while you're recording, you end up getting some clicking noise. Now, personally for me, that hasn't been an issue, because if the levels are off, I'll stop the recording and then restart the recording with the proper levels set. But I could see how that could be an issue if you're shooting a live concert or a live event, where if you stop the camera or stop the recording, that's it. You don't get a second shot. If you're shooting a wedding, for example, you might have to adjust the levels during the shoot, and you will get some of that clicking noise. Let me actually show you what that sounds like, and we'll try to duplicate it here. I'm just going to be completely silent for just a moment. I'll switch the levels and we'll see what we can hear. Personally, I haven't been able to hear this. Again, I haven't really tried to duplicate this because it hasn't been something that's come up. But let's try it. Let's find out if we can duplicate it here. Okay, so I've adjusted the levels several times back and forth, and if what other people on forums are saying is true, then we should be able to hear some sort of clicking noise as we go through. And it's not really a clicking noise, it's more, sounds, what I've heard, more like a phasing issue almost, as you go from low levels up to the higher levels. Again, if you're shooting film, short films, web series for YouTube, you probably aren't going to notice this problem. Also, if you're going to put an audio track over your recording, then you likely won't even hear this. But the safest bet to practice is to always make sure your levels are set correctly before you start shooting. Again, I know that people are going to come back at me and say, well, that's not always possible. I completely understand that. And if you're shooting in situations like that, then this unit probably isn't for you. You're probably going to want to switch to a unit that has actual potentiometers. It's, you know, it's just the way the game is with this type of equipment. You pay for what you get, and in this price range, you're not going to find a unit likely. I haven't been able to find a unit that offers as many options as this unit that has actual potentiometers. There are other units in this price range that are out there, but they don't have the digital displays, they don't have the slate button, they don't have a lot of these other options that this particular unit has, which I was attracted to and which is why I purchased it. So I would definitely, for the price range, give this unit 5 out of 5 stars, because there's nothing else like it in this price range that you will find as useful as you will with this particular unit. That's just my opinion. Again, I'm just the person doing the review. I've used this unit several different times on several different shoots. It hasn't let me down yet. In fact, the only real disadvantage that I could find for my shooting style personally is that the battery life is absolutely horrendous, or it can be, which is why I picked up the recording unit so that I wouldn't have, or not the recording unit, the unit that plugs into the wall socket, so I wouldn't have to mess with that, and problem solved. So if you had any questions about this unit, please be sure to throw them my way. If you're looking to pick this up, let me know. Works with a wide variety, pretty much any type of microphone you have. This unit will work with that microphone. It's a fantastic unit. I really can't say enough about it. I have friends that have used different types of recording units for field recording. They took a look at this and they actually were quite impressed. And that says something, because these are people who are very much into shooting high quality audio, and for them to be impressed with this unit, that is a big deal. So again, let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you're looking to get into this and you have a question. I can definitely look it up in the manual that I have for it, or I can do another video and show you that one specific thing if you need me to. I'm happy to do so. One thing that I would like to add is that this mount at the top is actually removable if you choose to do that. It's just these 4 screws in here. Just a flathead screwdriver will take those out, no problem. And then you have some different mounting options that you can choose if you would like. So that is it for today's review. I hope you found it helpful. Again, fantastic unit, great price point to get into XLR inputs on a field recording unit like this. And let me know if you have any questions. Please hit subscribe. Once again, I just want to throw out there, I will be doing contests when I hit 100 subscribers on my YouTube channel. So let your friends know, let your family know, let everybody know to check that out. They may have a chance to win a gift card or some money, whatever. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but make sure you hit subscribe so you have a chance to be entered into that contest. And again, thank you very much for watching Tabletop Reviews. My name is Jonathan Sampson. Feel free to throw me any questions that you guys have.